Plant FAQs, Euphorbia minors Merlot. When it comes to unique and striking plants, Euphorbia minors Merlot is one that always catches my eye. This plant, with its deep burgundy foliage and intriguing growth habit, has become a favorite in my garden. Over time, I've gotten many questions about how to care for it, propagate it, and even how to use it in landscaping. So, here are the answers to some of the most frequently asked questions about Euphorbia minors Merlot. See more 2093 species in genus Euphorbia at monsteraholic.com. What is Euphorbia minors Merlot? Euphorbia minors Merlot is a cultivar of Euphorbia, a diverse genus known for its wide range of plant types. What sets minors Merlot apart is its striking foliage. The leaves are a deep burgundy, almost purple, and they contrast beautifully with the green and gold tones of other plants in the garden. This variety grows in a mound-like shape, making it perfect for adding structure and color to garden beds or containers. How to care for Euphorbia minors Merlot. Caring for Euphorbia minors Merlot is relatively straightforward, which is one of the reasons I love it. Here's what I do to keep mine thriving. Light requirements. Euphorbia minors Merlot prefers full sun to partial shade. I've found that the more sunlight it gets, the deeper the color of the foliage. However, in extremely hot climates, a bit of afternoon shade can help prevent the leaves from scorching. Soil and watering. This plant isn't too picky about soil, but it does best in well-draining soil. I always make sure to mix in some sand or gravel if my garden bed tends to hold on to water. Speaking of water, Euphorbia minors Merlot is quite drought-tolerant. I water mine only when the top inch of soil feels dry to the touch. Overwatering can lead to root rot, so it's better to err on the side of too little water than too much. Fertilizing. Euphorbia minors Merlot doesn't need a lot of fertilizer. I usually give it a light feeding with a balanced fertilizer in the spring, just as new growth starts to appear. This helps it get a good start to the growing season. Pruning. Pruning is essential to keep Euphorbia minors Merlot looking its best. I typically prune mine in early spring before new growth begins. I remove any dead or damaged stems and shape the plant to maintain its compact, mounding form. How to propagate Euphorbia minors Merlot. Propagating Euphorbia minors Merlot is quite simple, and it's a great way to get more plants for your garden. Here's how I do it. Stem cuttings. The easiest way to propagate this plant is through stem cuttings. In late spring or early summer, I take a cutting from a healthy stem, about 4 to 6 inches long. After letting the cutting dry out for a day or two to allow the cut end to callus over, I plant it in a pot with well-draining soil. I keep the soil slightly moist until I see new growth, which usually indicates that roots have formed. Division. You can also propagate Euphorbia minors Merlot by division. I've had success with this method in early spring when the plant is just starting to wake up from winter. I carefully dig up the plant, divide the root ball into sections, and replant them immediately. This method works well if you have an established plant that has grown quite large. What to plant with Euphorbia minors Merlot. One of the things I enjoy most about Euphorbia minors Merlot is how well it pairs with other plants. Here are some companions that I've found work particularly well. Grasses. The deep burgundy of Euphorbia minors Merlot looks stunning against ornamental grasses like blue fescue or featherweed grass. The contrast in color and texture creates a dynamic and visually appealing garden bed. Silver foliage plants. Plants with silver or gray foliage, like lamb's ear or artemisia, provide a beautiful contrast to the dark leaves of minors Merlot. The combination of silver and burgundy is a classic pairing that never fails to impress. Succulents. I've also paired Euphorbia minors Merlot with succulents like sedum or echeveria. The low-growing, fleshy leaves of the succulents complement the upright growth of the Euphorbia, and their varying shades of green and blue play off the rich burgundy of minors Merlot. How to use Euphorbia minors Merlot in landscaping. Euphorbia minors Merlot is a versatile plant that can be used in various ways in the garden. Here are some ideas based on my experience. Accent plant. The bold color of minors Merlot makes it a great accent plant in garden beds or borders. I often use it as a focal point in a mixed bed, surrounded by plants with lighter or contrasting foliage. Container gardening. Minors Merlot also works well in containers. I've used it as the centerpiece in a mixed container, with trailing plants like sweet potato vine or creeping jenny spilling over the edges. The combination of textures and colors creates a striking display on my patio. Ground cover. If you have a larger area to cover, Miner's Merlot can be planted en masse as a ground cover. It forms a dense mound that helps suppress weeds and adds a splash of color to the landscape. Is Euphorbia Miner's Merlot toxic? Yes, like many euphorbias, Miner's Merlot is toxic if ingested. The plant contains a milky sap that can cause skin irritation, so it's essential to wear gloves when handling it. I also make sure to plant it in areas where pets and children won't be tempted to nibble on it. Final thoughts. Euphorbia Miner's Merlot is a stunning addition to any garden, offering a unique combination of rich color, easy care, and versatility. Whether you're looking for a focal point in a garden bed, an eye-catching container plant, or a low-maintenance ground cover, this plant is worth considering. With the right care and placement, it can bring a touch of elegance and drama to your outdoor space.